I know it's not your normal. And if it's not your normal, it must be somebody else's. Is the message that just came through to me. Good day, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. I am Mystic Alchemy. Thank you for being here. Okay, so this is tickling my brain because I'm not sure what it means yet, but I'm about to decode it while recording my voice. Okay. I know it's not your normal, so it must be somebody else's. This could go in various ways. Okay, where do I start? Hold on. Okay. There's a few different perspectives here. The first one is you dealing with someone and you could tell their pattern changed and you know that's not them. You know that that's not them talking. You know somebody dropped something in their ear and then all of a sudden they talking different, acting different. Like, what's going on with you? It reminds me of like, it reminds me of someone who's, how can I say? Someone who normally has a way about them. You just know them, okay? Say, for instance, it could be anyone that you know, because I don't necessarily need to put a label on it. I'm just speaking energy. So you put this energy where it makes sense for you. Say, for instance, there's someone that usually has a certain attitude towards you. Not when I say attitude, I'm not saying like a stank attitude. You know, I'm just saying they have a certain way about them, okay? And you see them around somebody, maybe like a new person, and they start talking different. Their perspective begins to change. Something's going on with them, but it's not a good change. It's actually horrible. And they're like reckless, okay? They're like reckless, and they're doing things that they don't normally do. And you know that it's unhealthy. Their ways are becoming unhealthy. It's kind of like, okay, say someone has a child. This is just an example. And before they started hanging out with this friend that they call a friend, they weren't acting like this, right? So it's like, what's going on with you? What's going on with you? Make you ask questions. You're looking at them because you see it all over them. And those who are perceptive and pay attention, you see when somebody switched up when they get around somebody. It's like, oh, so that person dropping seeds in your ear because they're trying to control you, and you're too weak to even be able to recognize what's happening to you. Okay, so it's either that. So some of you could be going through that yourself, where someone is manipulating you, but you're just going along with it, but you don't realize you're being manipulated. Or someone around you is going through that. And this could also just be taken as a general message because it's very, what's the word? It feels ominous, I want to say. Is that the right word? Maybe that's too scary. It feels like the unknown, like the unseen. You excuse me, you pick up on this energy through being around somebody, but you can't see it, but you see it. You can only see this through actions. Wait, hold on. Giving the impression that something bad or unpleasant is going to happen. Yeah, okay. It's a little scary, but it's ominous. Okay, very ominous. Like something is wrong and you better get it back together before you go in the wrong direction and get yourself messed up. Okay? So it's that energy. Now what's the other way? If I know it's not your normal, so it's somebody else's. You know what? If I just put all of this energy I'm feeling under an umbrella, okay, and just put it all under the same roof to make it more simple, instead of me giving so many different perspectives, but even though I see them, I'm just going to tell you in one direct way. If you know that what is considered normal is not normal, why follow it? Why go along with it? Why do that? That doesn't make any sense. Just because you see the majority do it, it still doesn't mean do it. The Spirit just said the only time it's more likely that it makes sense for you to follow the majority is if you enter some space where you've never been and you see everybody running away from something. It's a high chance that you should run that way too. Get away. Now that's the only time, because when people are in danger, they get away. So you don't want to walk towards what could be dangerous for you. So it would just make sense not to go that way. Okay? Or if you see like the traffic slow down and you have a chance to get off the highway because you don't want to be stuck in traffic, but you decide to stay on that path and then you stuck, but you start to see people excuse me, ahead of you getting off, and you know you can, and it's an option for you because it's not going to take you off track. It's actually going to assist you in getting to your destination. You get off the highway, right? It's just little examples that are coming to me right now. Don't follow them people, okay? But otherwise, other than that, if it's not like something, when it comes to people, because people move away from danger at the last minute though, it's just that a lot of times when they are reaping the energy of approaching danger that is unseen, but the empathic ones know it's coming, you know, how can I say? You are coming up in my energy as someone who sees impending danger, okay? However, there's some people around you that do not see the impending danger, so they'll just crash and burn, you know, no matter if you say something or not, because their head is quite thick, okay? Hard-headed, knucklehead, okay? So they just keep doing the same thing, even though you're trying to tell them, you know what? You gotta think about it. If you do this, this could happen. Some people, they just are bullish. They're bullheaded, and they allow their ego to control them, and they don't reflect enough. They don't have the capacity within them to be able to apologize or acknowledge. They'd rather just act like they figure something out on their own. You know, they don't show love in that way, because they it's all about an image, and it's all about feeling weak, but it's actually strong to show love. But so many people miss that mark, and then there's a certain aspect of a spiritual test that they fail, but they don't know that they're failing, and they don't know that something will be withdrawn from them because they haven't passed that test, and they're gonna have to go through it again. And the next time they go through it, something might be more intimidating or embarrassing, or something that's going to make them feel very uncomfortable, to where they're going to be pushed into a space where they're not really going to want to be, because they struggle with this. And God is trying to help them, but they keep on ignoring something when they know they shouldn't. Okay? It could be out of fear too, but that's another thing. Even if you are fearful, you're supposed to keep going, because we weren't made like that to be walking around scared. Okay. All right, so when it comes to those around you who are choosing to take on a certain energy that is not their own, and you try to tell them, don't do that, don't go that way. Listen, you could do what you want, but I'm telling you right now, if you go that way, you're going to suffer consequences. You will suffer consequences. Now, you could either receive this and apply it to your life or not. I'm just a messenger. I'm here to give you this message because I see something and I'm trying to tell you before it's too late. And it's up to you to listen. It's just that simple. You know, it's not forceful. It's just I see something and I'm trying to tell you, but you're not listening. You're not listening, okay. I'm not always right. Hey, you don't gotta listen to me. But don't say I didn't tell you when you see it happen now. Don't tell me you did. Okay? So I think it's more so of, it's like Spirit wants to tell you that a lot of people that you love are going to do things that don't make sense to you, and they're gonna accept it into their life as normal. It's not for you to get overly emotional about. It's not for you to really be affected by so much. And of course you're affected somewhat in an abstract way. However, it's like Spirit wants you to know that is a time to use detachment so that you can continue on with what God has destined for you. Because many times we get wrapped up in other people's stuff, no matter if it's family, friends, or a romantic situation. If someone is going in the opposite way of you, it doesn't make sense to keep them around because they become dead weight. They have trouble seeing that which is good and applying it. They'd rather just do what they do because it feels good for the moment. But in the long run, they're affected. And then the karmic debt that they build up, they're going to have to pay that back. If they stay around you all up in your energy, that debt is going to then become yours. And then you being around them, you could easily begin to take on their debt just by association. So it's like, do you really want to associate with them like that? And even if you still speak to them, I'm not saying don't talk to them all together, dependent on the situation. Because some of these people need to go away from you. Other than that, I mean, it's not like cast them out completely, but it's feed them with a long handled spoon. Because where are we going? I can't go where you're going. You're not going where I'm going. We're going in two different directions. Okay? What you are taking on as your normal is not my normal. And I'm not going to make it my normal. Okay? It's really about being true to what God has for you and recognizing when a direction or a certain person in your energy is not for you, instead of trying to push something that never was supposed to be. Because many times these situations are tests for you to pass, yet so many people fail. So just make sure you're on the passing side when it comes to these spiritual tests, because the more you fail, the next test is more difficult. Actually, you would think that you know it would let up a little bit. The pressure, no, it's more heavy, much more heavy. And anything heavy is not good for you because it causes major distractions, major like derailment is what I just got. It gets you off track completely, and you begin to lose a beautiful aspect of you that is meant to be incorporated into every step you take. However, you'll miss the beauty in you that could be activated if you are not aligning yourself divinely to what you know to be right. It's like someone knowing that they shouldn't do something, but they do it anyway. Okay, well, you want to be a rebel in that way, and not a rebel for God, but you want to be a rebel for the enemy? Okay, go ahead and see where that gets you, and see how you end up miserable. You might have something that you want. You might have something that your flesh wants, but your soul is thirsty. Okay? Okay? I heard like SpongeBob at Sandy's house. For whoever saw that episode. I have kids around me, so I'll be watching cartoons with them. But yes, SpongeBob went to Sandy's house, and she's a squirrel under the sea. So when she in the water, she got a spacesuit on. Isn't that telling? I just realized that. I'm just gonna say it. When she's under the water, she has a spacesuit on. Just let that sink in. Y'all might be like, what? She got a spacesuit on. But anyway, I'm not gonna go there because that's a whole nother different something. But anyway, he was trying to visit his friend Sandy, the squirrel that has a little house under the sea, and it's a globe, and there's no water in her house because she's a squirrel. She's a land creature. So he went trying to have a nice day, and you know he a sponge. He need water to be moisturized. Ooh, he was dry. Let me tell you. And that's how your soul going to be if you keep on following the enemy. If any of you are choosing those demonic ways, you'll never be fulfilled. You won't, because the enemy is not here to fulfill you. The enemy is here to destroy you, trick you into thinking that the benefits that may seem like benefits from the enemy are good for you, but they really are for your demise. So it's like handing someone something that they love and poisoning it. You know what happens when people take poison. All right now. I think that's it for this message. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. If this message resonates with you and you understand it and you resonate, drop it down in the comments below and declare that you are not going to be one that fails the spiritual tests, because you are going to utilize your gifts, such as your intuition and the power of your mind's eye, to avoid derailment from the divine destiny that is set for you. Okay? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're feeling my vibe, especially if this message does resonate with you. To book a healthy conversation, you can by visiting www.milkhoneyRose.org. Also, you can join the membership here on YouTube for additional content. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next one.